Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Got another weekly recap for you all, as I'm just kind of continuing training through my off season here that'll eventually lead up to nationals. But at this point, we're a little under 6 months out, so everything is kind of just coasting along. I would say the theme for this point in time is really just taking what's there, trying to build some sort of base, not pressing too much as far as like forcing weight onto the bar, and just adapting to how everything's feeling, and kind of coupled with getting back into school. I've got really busy life schedule right now, a couple big life events going on, and still getting the work done though, right? And that's the biggest takeaway here, is work being done. So here's day one. I have my pause squats with 535 pounds. These are inching up nicely. So sets of 6, I think. Whenever I pivoted from regular safety bar squats to pauses, it was right around that 545 pound mark. So at this point, we're hitting, what I was doing for regular reps almost for paused reps. And I fully expect that next week we will up that another 10 kilos and kind of keep it marching along, because difficulty wise, I would say that was around an RPE 7 or so for those sets. And then after those, I had my snatch grip RDLs with 405 pounds. I'm still using an over under grip for those, because I do like to kind of just use a regular, my hands for a lot of the deadlift work, or as much as I can, to build up that grip strength. Eventually here soon, as it continues to get heavier, I will flip and put straps on, right, just to be safe with that wider grip. But everything on that day one is super easy. Now day two, here we are still just building up weight. These Swiss bar benches are feeling really good. I'm doing a much better job compared to last training cycle, where I'm actually touching my chest, going all the way down on these, getting the full range of motion. And these are working well, especially with that little bit of shoulder discomfort that I've been having. And it's nice to be back over 300 pounds for those sets of 8. And then the kind of accessory bench that I have is incline press with the Swiss bar. And this is one of those, I don't think I can physically touch my chest, just because of one, flexibility and how wide I have to hold these, and 2, these actually are a little bit sore on my shoulder. Nothing too bad, of course, but just worth noting there. And then this week was kind of a weird week, so I had to kind of rush day 3, and that was tempo deadlift day, along with rows. Now I didn't get videos of either of those because I was trying to rush through. We had a bit of a vacation weekend plan, Natalie and myself, to go down to West Virginia, and we kind of hung out at a cabin with one of her friends from college. So my day 2 was really rushed. Needless to say, those sets were really easy. I think my deadlift sets were 365 pounds for sets of 5 with a 3-second eccentric. And then I upped my rows to 275 pounds for 4 sets of 8. So it was nice to hit those, but because I was in a rush trying to get it done within an hour, I didn't get any videos, obviously. And then this was my main day of the week, as it always is, day 4, where it's really heavy. And I had to work up to 3 sets of 3 at 695 pounds. Now, I will say this is one of those perfect examples. I had a bit of a frustrating week in school, and I just needed to let some of that frustration out. And this is a good example of not ideal circumstances, because I did have to compress my training into Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday instead of Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday like it should be. But because of how well things moved, I did bump up 5 pounds for my final set of 3. So I did 2 sets at 695, and this is my final set at 700 pounds, just to hit that nice even 700 for 3 reps, which is a nice PR. And really, with how it moved, next week, I think we'll be able to continue to push that up, no problem, and this will no longer be the PR. But, you know, with those kind of weeks, whenever you have a frustrating week at work or what have you, sometimes you need to make those adjustments just for yourself in the gym. But I think that's a great example of a compromise where I did not bump it up the 5 pounds for all 3 sets, and I made myself earn it with the 695 for the first 2 sets, and then I threw on the extra 2.5 pounds. So in the grand scheme of things, that extra 5 pounds total for 1 set onto 695 pounds is not going to make any difference. But as far as confidence goes, it makes a world of difference, because it kind of turned my week around and gave it a bright spot because I had such a rough week at work. Now, my benches, I would say my shoulders feeling a good bit better here. This is 425 pounds, and then my top single was supposed to be at an RPE 8, and I did 435, and I would say this is, you know, it's the same weight as last week, but it felt more comfortable. Now, if we watch how it moves, I think that's a very solid RPE 8. There might be a little room on the upside for that, but my shoulder was significantly more comfortable this week than it was last week. So I'm hoping to just keep that trending in the right direction. And then I did back it up a tiny bit as far as weight goes from last week. I think last week I hit 395 for my 4s. I backed it off to 385, but just made the reps a whole lot cleaner and kept that shoulder fresh, which is the big deal. And then we closed off the week with my sets of deadlifts. I had 4 sets of 605 pounds, 4 sets of 6. And as you can see, these were nice and smooth. Of course, in a day like this where you've got heavy triples and then heavier bench and then your deadlifts, everything's going to be fried. But everything moved really well for this, and I would say there's plenty of room on the upside to continue. So overall, great week of training. I appreciate you all tuning in as always, and until next time, happy lifting.